So I got a message from Ray, my social media gal, and she said, Paden, you big, stupid, dumb idiot, you need to start making more real estate stats videos and informing people of the health of the market. And so here I am today so that Ray doesn't come and beat me up. And I want to preface this with anybody that ever says that they are exclusive real estate content. Typically, they're saying that because they can, but it doesn't really mean anything. All the stats that all of us can get, anybody can post. So make sure you don't think everything is this crazy, special, interesting thing. Because real estate should be, if you're doing it right, very boring and understood and comfortable. So today, let's talk about the market and what's going on in the market. First off, stats on where we're at today, currently, what's going on. Second, where do we think the market's going? What are some indicators that we're pondering about? And then number three, what's my advice on all of it? My name's Paden, Clancy, Fairbanks, and let's talk about it. Let's get Ray some stats so she doesn't yell at me anymore. Where are we at? What's going on right now? What's the most complete data set that we have? May of 2023 is the most complete data set, and we can go May of 2022, 4,184 homes sold. May of 2023, 3,377 homes sold. What does that mean? That means the demand is down about 24%, or about 24% less people are buying homes currently. But listings entered in 2022 of May was 6,370 homes. Why is this important? This is the amount of homes that are being shoved on the market, the amount of homes that are available for people to buy, supply. And so 2022, 6,370, 2023, 4,886 homes were entered into the Utah real estate market. That's a decrease of 30%. So we've seen demand decrease by 24%, but we've seen supply decrease by 30%. Why is this important? You have to really understand that at the worst moment in time for Utah real estate, let's say in the last year, in May of 2022, median sold value is $540,000. This year, it's at $490,000 for May, for a decrease of only 10%, pretty much saying that the markets went up 6% from its low point. So we're all freaking out. Everything's going crazy. How can the market be going up when everybody's so scared and worried and interest rates are so high? Well, it's super simple. It's your supply and your demand. Your demand is down 24%, but your supply is down 30%. And so there's an indicator showing why prices are starting to tick up a little bit. Are they going to keep going up in a linear fashion? I very much doubt it. Are they going to go down a little bit more? Quite possibly. But the largest thing is that now we're not in a market that's straight up or down, and back into really more standardized markets. And how do I know that? I know that because median original list to sold value for the month of May was 98%. And this is a great, super cool indicator. It's so important for people to realize that what homes are listing for are realistically being sold for 98% of what that value is, showing that sellers have more realistic expectations for the market in general. At its lowest point, it was at 92%, and that was also one of the largest points where home values decreased the most. That was January, it was down to 92%, which was the largest gap, was that 16% from 540 to 450. But blabbering, cool it, whatever. So we've talked about the state of the market, showing that supply is down, demand is down, median sold value is up from its lowest point, but still down 10% year over year. And I want you to really understand, at its lowest point, the market decreased by 16%. How does this compare to the 2008 recession? Well, in the 2008 recession, the Utah market went down 23% from its worst point, August of 2007 to like May or something of 2010. So if you are expecting the market to go down another 10 or 20%, absolutely, always a possibility. It's not something that we've seen historically happen, especially not that aggressively. And so if there's indicators and speculation that could be going on, maybe, but if you think that it's going to happen because it's happened before, it hasn't. So that's where we're at currently. That's the current state of the market. So then the question is, what does the future of the market look like? Where are we going, Paden? I don't have any idea. Nobody knows, but some large indicators to really be looking at is that your mortgage interest rates are at about 6.6% today, and they've been around that range for about 3 months now. And then on top of that, the Fed's said that they aren't going to keep increasing interest rates the same way. If inflation doesn't calm down, doesn't go from 4 to 2%, we may have some small interest rate increases, but the largest piece of why home values decreased so quickly was because mortgage rates increased by more than double in the last year. And so what happens when they start decreasing again? I don't know. And when will they start decreasing again? Most likely not within the year. But if you're wanting to speculate, the largest reason home values decreased in the last year was because of rising interest rates. And so if interest rates start going down, what happens? Answer that question yourself. So we've talked about where the market is currently. We've talked about where we think it might be going in the future. Now you ask, Paden, what's your advice on everything? And the first stat that I want to bring up is that the median days on market at its lowest point was 6 days. Currently, that number is more than 3 times. It's at 23 days for the month of May of 2023. This is important to understand that in general, the market is slower than what it was at the height of last year. But it's also important to understand that anything below 90 days is still considered a seller's market. So homes are still easier to sell now than most of what we've seen in history, which is really something to be super aware of. And so if you're trying to get in the market and you're trying to play a lot of games, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Put in low offers, go crazy, do all your crazy stuff, because I love doing that. But understand, you're going to get a lot of no's, and it's okay if you aren't able to get the first home. But also understand that in the last year, the highest median days on market was 51 days in the month of January. And so it is officially less than half of what it was at its height, showing that there's a significant amount more demand than what we were seeing about 6 months ago. So the tactics that you were using 6 months ago, as aggressive as they were or as unaggressive as they were, aren't going to be as effective as they are today. And so make sure you understand that. Always be looking for homes that have had multiple price decreases, that have been on the market for longer than 30 days, and functionally suit well for your family. And then lastly, make sure your mortgage payments are manageable. It's really good to understand that right now in this moment in time, if you're choosing to try and buy a home, if you're able to get a home even at a decent price that you're comfortable with and your mortgage is manageable, when interest rates decrease, and they will decrease within the next 2 to 5 years, you'll be able to refinance and get yourself in a really comfortable place. Does that mean you should go buy a super-duper big old expensive home? Absolutely not. But we bought a home right now because we believe this is a really great moment to buy, specifically because home prices have decreased by 16% or 10% year over year. They had decreased by 16% at the worst part of the market. And so we're starting to see the market level out, which gives us the opportunity to know that we believe that the market's going to level out and start going back up at 2 or 3 or 6 years or whatever. So this is a great opportunity to buy a home at a cheaper value than it could quite possibly be in a year. But if market goes down another 10%, the home suitably works well for us and our mortgage payment's manageable. So that's no big deal either. We got into a home that works really well for us. So that's my advice. I always think it's a good time to buy a house, and I always think you should try to buy one at a discount and buy it with a mortgage rate or with a mortgage cost that's acceptable to you. If you think it's a bad time to buy a house, there's just nothing wrong with not buying a house right now. But understand, if interest rates decrease, demand is going to increase. That's just something to be really, really aware of. And so if you're waiting for a really perfect opportunity to buy, by the time you figure out when that opportunity was, it's going to be 2 or 3 months past it. So always be aware of that. But other than that, thanks for watching my video. If you got any questions on real estate, feel free to call or text or whatever. I'm a licensed realtor here in the state of Utah. Hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and bye-bye now.